back in our Godly Playroom this week to hear our story, and it's called The Exile and Return. And this story is about all of us this last few weeks. Some of us have felt like we've been in exile from our schools, and we've wondered how we were going to learn away from that place. Some of us felt like we've been exiled from our favorite summer activities and camps, and we wondered what our summer would look like without those things that we enjoy so much. I hope you enjoy it. We're back in the desert again today. That dangerous place where there's very little food or water and where people can die. The place that's always changing, and so it never looks the same way twice. And it's easy to get lost. The place where you have to wear special clothes to protect your skin from the scorching sun by day and to keep you warm at night. No one goes into the desert unless they have to. This is Jerusalem. Here's the wall. Inside is the temple built for God. Here are the people of God. They knew that God was in the temple, but they also thought that it was the only place where you could pray to God. People thought that the wall of the city would protect them from everything. But then the Assyrians came and they attacked the city. It was a terrible time. People fought and some starved to death. Finally, the Assyrians went away. But then the Babylonians came and they did not go away. Their king wanted the city of Jerusalem for himself. They broke down the walls. And they burned the temple. They took many of the people of God away. Only a few stayed behind in the city. The soldiers marched God's people away from Jerusalem. They looked back at the smoke of the burning city and wondered if they would ever see it again. As they walked through the desert, they had to get up when the soldiers said. They could only sleep when the soldiers said. They had to eat what the soldiers said. They had to go where the soldiers said. They grew weary, and some died. It took a very long time. The people of God were in exile. They could not go home. When they came to Babylon, they hung their harps on the weeping willows and they sang sad songs. They dreamed of Jerusalem and the temple, but they couldn't go back. They even faced Jerusalem when they said their prayers. Slowly, God's people began to understand that God was in this place too. God's presence came to them as they gathered to read the scriptures, to tell the old stories, and to pray. The king of Babylon allowed many of God's people to work. They set up little stores and some worked for the king. It was a shock when the king of Persia came with his army and took Babylon for himself. This new king let some of the people return to Jerusalem. Some of them went with Ezra, and they rebuilt the walls of the city. Some of them went with Nehemiah, and they rebuilt the temple. The people of God were no longer in exile. They could go home again. But do you know what happened? Not all of them went home. Now they knew that God was in the strange and foreign land. Some stayed because God was there too. Now I wonder, which part of this story you liked best? I wonder what the most important part was. I wonder which part is about you or where you are in this story. I wonder if there's any part we could leave out and still have all we need. Thank you for listening to our story this morning. I hope you'll follow along with us through the rest of the week as we talk about exile. Have a great week, everybody.